insight into Virginia. Just wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot. Place where I work for now. Let's just say, I'm not gonna name names and things, but it's a place where people can go and stay for a couple nights, and it's not a hotel. It's a campground, right? But I've been noticing that people are staying there, like basically living there. Like, there's time limits. You can only be there for so many days, and then you got to be out for 3 days, and then you can go back again. Well, there's a lot of people who are riding that, and if you have a Social Security discount, or if you're like, one of those like an old-timey club, you get in your camping clubs, and you get, I can't think of all the names of them, but there's a lot of them that you can pay a certain amount yearly and be a member of, and you can get campsites for 50% off. You get to stay so many times and you get a free one. Just different kind of clubs like that people can get in. And there's also just regular old, just discounts, like veteran discounts, elderly discounts, whatnot. And so you can stay, if you can get discounts, there's a lot of campgrounds you can stay at for, next to nothing nowadays, like less than $400 a month. And so I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. That's what we're seeing. I don't know if any of y'all are close to any campgrounds that you might go to, you might frequent a lot, or at least in the areas of, if anyone has noticed this in any other areas besides, East Tennessee. But I'm sure it's happening probably all throughout the country, that people are having to just live in campgrounds. And I think in our case, one major thing I've seen happening is a lot of those people who I know I see there, like, always, like, I've been there all summer long, and there's certain families I've seen all summer long, and I'm talking entire families. And I believe a lot of them have moved to Tennessee from other areas. Well, there's several who are there full time, which I know for sure, because they still have other tags from other states, like Oregon, Illinois, Maryland, all of those really high tax, high dollar states that people are just having to leave because they can't afford to be there, or they don't want to even try to afford it. And so they're coming to areas like Tennessee, where they know that we have lower taxes, lower cost of living. But what's happening is when they get here, they're not finding, or they're not affording housing. Be it they're wanting to just lease something until they find something to buy. A lot of people are in tune, a lot of people are like-minded, and they are just waiting until some kind of bubble bursts, and then they're gonna try to buy something then. I've had a lot of conversations with people. I had a conversation with a little old lady one day on my lunch break. She was 86 years old, and very, very healthy woman, walking around on a walker with 2 pet cats just following her around. Super healthy. Had a conversation with me my whole lunch break, and she was saying how, her son was like, they were all from Houston, and her son was telling her, she said, honey, my son, he's very devout Christian, and he just knows that things are not going to get any better. Things are just getting worse, and he wanted his family to be safe. So, you know, we all three of us sold our houses and went in together, bought a motorhome, bought a big dually truck, and loaded down trailer, and they pretty much had 5 family members and 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a bird, you know, all in that motorhome. And they found a piece of property in Mount Carmel, Tennessee, but the property didn't even have a driveway on it, so they were living in a campground until they could get a driveway built in order to drive their RV up and park it, so that they could then begin to have a house built or build a house. And so it's people like that who are coming to this area, and they just are not even able to find housing, whether it's temporary or permanent or whatever. So we definitely hear a lot of those other states, people are homeless because they cannot afford to live in those places. And we're starting to see it in Tennessee. That's my point. Yeah, it's still, people can maybe afford to live here. It's really hard. If you do not own your home and you're trying to buy a home.
In 2 miles, take exit 14 toward Abingdon.
You're trying to buy a home right now, you can't, I mean, the interest rate is just insane. You know, you can't do it. Or then, you know, if you're moving here from somewhere else, you think you're just going to come here and find you a place to live for a while, and you just can't. People can't find anything to buy. And then there's a lot of people who are from here who, you know, have issues, who have bad credit, who have, unfortunately, you know, mental health problems, people who have drug problems, people who have alcohol problems. Just the amount of homeless is just exponentially just through the roof. Since I've lived here in East Tennessee, I've lived here since 21, and it's like each day almost I can tell that the numbers of homeless people is just escalating. I can drive through Kingsport on a daily basis, see more.
In half a mile,
people.
take exit 14 toward Abingdon.
Sorry. And it's just, I think that is going to be one of the main straws that breaks the camel's back, if you will, is just the restlessness.
Take exit 14.
Sorry. I forgot I had to have directions for where I was going on this trip. I'm running an errand for someone right now.
In a quarter mile, keep right at the fork. Follow signs for Abingdon.
Sorry. I'll wrap this up real quick. I think that this is going to be one of those straws, is just the homeless problem. And there is tons of people who are working but are having to live.
Keep right at the fork.
They're living in tents. I know at least 3 families living in tent, more than one tent, one family, because they have...
In half a mile, turn right onto US 11 North, US 19 North.
They have so many people in their families, and they cannot afford to have a house for them. So they're living in a couple different tents. I know one family that's living in there's an RV and a tent, and there's like 5 of them. So what are these people going to do come winter? What's going to happen come winter time? I just wonder about that. But I know right now for sure we've got a housing problem. And it's not just in East Tennessee. And I think it's just going to get worse and worse. And you're going to just start seeing a lot of people just walking everywhere. Living on the side of the roads even. Because that's all they can afford to do. So, much love. I'm going to get out of here before this thing gets on our nerves.